not a single one of you are selling products. You're selling perceived value, and let me tell you why. Come on. So what is up, everybody? This is Andrew, the Hustle Millennial, coming at you guys, dropping some free knowledge like I try to do day after day for you guys. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, family, and show some love. And if you're returning, then I'm glad that I've been keeping you entertained and or educated. Hopefully one of the both. That's what we're trying to do. Anyways, today what I want to talk about really is the core of what we do. And what we're doing here is we're not selling products, we're selling perceived value. But what is perceived value? Basically, perceived value is the customer's cost versus the customer's benefit. And this is not only monetary, but psychological and also time as well. So what does it cost the customer's time? You know, if someone's making $60 an hour and it takes them an hour to drive to Walmart, you know, chances are they're going to pay $10 to $15 more for that item on Amazon just because their time is worth more than that hour to drive and pay $15 less. Say an item costs $10 at Walmart, say it costs $25 on Amazon. If someone's making $60 an hour, they're going to lose $35 by going to Walmart and buying that item versus paying you $15 extra for picking up that item and listing it on Amazon. And if you understand that concept, you'll understand why we as Amazon sellers are able to make money on retail flips. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a PV or perceived value scenario here for you guys. So what we're going to do is let's take it and say we are in upper end New York. Say we're in Manhattan. We got this super luxury high-rise apartment building. We'll give it 3 stories here. Actually, you know what? Let's give it 4 stories. So we have this 4-story high-rise super luxury, as you can see, my amazing artistic abilities. And let's do this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got our 4 stories of perceived value. Now, what we're going to do across the street here, we're going to do a high-end retail. We're going to put a Walmart right across the street. Most luxurious. Now, Mr. Black here, on the 1st story, to go buy his retail items, all he has to do is walk out his door, walk across the street, and go to Walmart. That's, you know, what is the value there for him to purchase on Amazon? He may pay you $1 to $2 more for that item versus Mr. Yellow now has to go down a flight of stairs or down the elevator, navigate his way around the people on the 1st floor to get across the street to get to Walmart. Now, perceived value says that the time he's going to spend, and that's going to be this little guy right here, that extra little space. So the extra couple inches of line, that's what he's paying you extra for. So for him, it's worth more for him to pay you than to walk down the flight of stairs and go to Walmart. When we look at Mr. Green, we see he's even higher up, and he has to go through both flights of stairs, and he has all that extra space. Now, what is it worth to him to buy from you on Amazon versus navigating his way to Walmart? And now we look, let's say Miss Red. We have Miss Red on the 4th story of the building. Clearly not an easy way out. She could jump if she wants, but the medical bills that she would probably incur from that would far exceed the extra $10, $15 she's going to pay you from buying on Amazon. And as we see, her way to Walmart is much farther than anybody else in the scenario. Now, what does this say? This says if we look at it in the terms of perceived value, Mr. Black, with the easiest time to the store, is not going to pay you as much as Miss Red, who is going to have a much more difficult time getting into the store, and this doesn't even account how much money these people make. Now, along with time-based factors contributing to determining value, what also goes into play is scarcity and supply and demand, and those two kind of go hand in hand. Now, if you've seen the Bearded Picker talk about his the eye drops that he has a pretty good monopoly or lockdown on, along with Shane, the Rise and Grind Picker, or if you've seen Walter Blake, if you've seen him talk about his $1 to $8 Dawn hand soap, you understand that items that are hard to find, items that have scarcity in the market, or items like this that we showed you in one of our first videos that are not being made anymore, can bring extremely high prices. Now you'll remember on this item we paid $20 a piece for, as we showed you in one of our first videos. Now these guys went up to $70 a piece on eBay for a couple of reasons. One, this was an item that Walmart had on clearance and they'd had for a while, and they weren't making this anymore. The Rock Band, it was not coming out. This model, this edition, was no longer being made. So if there's scarcity in the market, the perceived value will be higher and you can fetch a higher price, as you can see right here. I'll link that. Alright guys, and the last and final thing we want to talk about is psychological perceived value. And what this means is, what is someone willing to pay to forego a psychological matter or psychological situation? Example being, say you have an elderly woman or elderly man that needs to buy incontinence supplies. If they have the money, why would they go and put themselves through the embarrassment of buying those items inside of the retail store themselves? There are many people that sell only these type of personal items because of psychological perceived value and how it affects the prices. This has nothing to do with this person's time or this individual's effort. It just has to do with the fact that they have the resources and they're willing to spend the extra resources to forego the embarrassment or having to deal with the situation of going into a checkout line, going into a public place, and buying these items. So we looked at time, we looked at money, effort, and psychological. So once you understand perceived value and how it affects the marketplace, not just Amazon, then you can begin to understand how we as Amazon resellers do make a living doing this. And like I said, guys, you don't sell products, you sell perceived value. As always, hit that subscribe button, share with your friends if you thought you got even maybe a little bit of value out of this, and as always, have a great day, YouTube fam.